Okay, it looks like we are live. Let's turn get this set up. Welcome to my first crochet live. All right, so those of you who don't know me, my name is Dragon, and I am a crochet fiber artist. The sun is gonna be a problem. I need to hold on. Better, right? Yeah, better. I'll work on that for a later time. So what are we doing today? Let's start with introducing myself. You don't know who I am. My name is Dragon. I am a crochet fiber artist. I crochet all sorts of clothes and like decor and stuff like that. So like I've made this pillow. This is a half blanket. It is 3 squares across and like 4 to 5 squares down. It's literally just long enough to cover the back of my couch. I didn't want it super long. I literally just wanted something to throw over the back of my couch. It also works for like an ottoman, for like an ottoman runner kind of thing. It's like a half blanket. Um, so I did that. I have a couple other projects which I can show at a later time if y'all are interested. So, what are we doing right now? We are making, I'm in my granny square era, if you can't tell. We are making some granny square pants. I actually have another project in here I kind of want to show you, which is it's kind of on hold because I don't have any more of this particular type of yarn. So I had found this fun, like textured yarn. And so I was like, I'm just going to crochet it into a granny square and see what happens. And then I found more. But the second strand that I had was thinner than this. This was like a super bulky, and this was just like a thick worsted to a chunky. Like it wasn't exactly the same weight. So I paired it with some black acrylic. So I held black acrylic with it, and it kind of blended pretty well. And then it moved on to, I found this one, and then I started using that one until I finished it. So it is literally just a giant granny square blanket. And when I find more of, so a lot of these textured yarns I got from a thrift store. So when I went thrifting, I'll look at their yarns and like I'll buy just a random pack if it's on sale on discount. Um, and so I just started blending them all into this. So if I find any more like dark colored, like I have a couple more of the textured ones, but it's like brighter colors, and I kind of want to keep this dark and like moody to fit my vibe. So whenever I find more, I'll just add to it. So this is one of those projects that's going to be like an ever-ending project until I get it to the size that like a never-ending project until I get it to the size that I need. Like I said, I'm in my granny square era. So, project of the day is my crochet pants. I've never made crocheted pants before. So, crochet pants. We have a bunch of these granny squares. I need 12 of them. I am working on number 10 right now. So we are going to crochet 10 and then 11 and 12. I have no idea what color combos I'm going to do. I do have a selection, like a color palette that I'm working with. I just don't know what I'm going to do yet. So we'll figure that out as we go. But some of them are like multicolored. I still have to weave in ends on some of these. So some of them are multicolored, some of them are solid. So we have a solid green one. We have this multicolored one, solid orange one, a different shade of green, beige, orange and brown, and the solid white. The white is kind of like bright, but I think it'll work. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. So yeah, that's what we're doing with that. Like I said, I am working on number 10 right now and I need 12. So we do have some different colors to work with. So I have like orange and yellow, green. I have a lot of different greens. I have green with like little textures in it. And then I have, this is one I'm using right now on the current square. And then let's pull out all the greens. So I have a bunch of different shades of green. And then brown. That's what all I have left on my white. And then I already showed you the orange. It's the same orange. And then the beige. So that's the colors we are, sorry, moved it. Those are the colors that we are working with right now. All right. So yeah, I'm going to just try to knock this out a bit. So I'm just doing a normal granny square, which, I mean, kind of a normal granny square. It's debatable. So a lot of people will do their granny square where they'll do the 3 double crochet, and then they'll do the 3 double crochet immediately in the next one. For these, which I have done that in some of my other projects, but in this one, I am chaining 1 in between each like cluster, and then chaining 2 in each corner. The reason why I'm chaining 1 in each cluster, like in between each cluster, is because I want it to be loose and not as firm, because it's pants. And crocheted, like the worsted weight crochet, is notoriously more stiff than if you were to knit or use a lighter, thinner yarn. Like if you were to use like a sport weight, this is a 4. The worsted is a 4. If you were to use a sport weight, which is a 2, then you're gonna get something that's actually, I think I have one in here. You're gonna get something that's a little bit more like loose. So okay, this is I believe a sport weight. So you can see the difference. So this right here is what I'm using right now. That's a worsted. And then this bottom one is a sport weight. So it's super thin. Like you can get thinner, trust me. I've used thread before. But because it's thinner, it's lighter. This is the same stitch, guys. This is the same stitch, doing the exact same thing. Smaller hook, smaller yarn, but the exact same stitch, and it drapes like crazy. Like I love how it drapes, right? But it does take like 10 times as long because you're doing smaller, thinner yarn. So there's a lot more stitches. When you're doing this doesn't drape as easy, right? Like I'm gonna hold them up together. Like you see how this one like is like flowy and it drapes. This one's like stiff, right? I can hold them in the middle. I'm trying to hold them in the same spot so y'all can see. See how this one's kind of stiff and this one kind of like is more drapey? Yeah. So that's the difference between the two. So to counteract that, to make it a little bit more drapey and a little bit more loose and a little bit more airy and flowy, I am chaining 1 in between each cluster. So if you're not familiar with the granny stitch, it is yarn over. So you're going to do your double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and then I am chaining 1, and then going into the next loop and doing my cluster of 2 double crochet. I understand that according to anyone who is not a crocheter, that is probably moving incredibly fast. I don't know how to crochet slow. I've been crocheting for trying to do math in my head. I started when I was 15 and I'm 38 now. So let's do math. So I'm crocheting for a long time. Of course, through those years, like I put it off and then started doing it again, and then I put it off and started doing it again. It wasn't until I was probably like 2020 is when everything shut down and I was kind of just looking for things to do and occupy my time. That's when I really started like getting heavily into it and making like my own clothes and stuff. I made my first pullover sweater in 2020. Prior to that, I was crocheting, but I was crocheting like granny squares and like blankets and just like very basic things. When I discovered that I could make my own clothes, the world became my oyster. Let's say that. So yeah, we're gonna crochet, have a good time, hang out. My dogs are being very, very quiet. That can be a good or a bad thing. They could be getting into something, or they could be taking a nap. I'm unsure. Unsure. So I've switched to Dr. Pepper Zero. Anyone who knows me knows I've been obsessed with Coke Zero for literal ages. But I've been wanting to kind of like switch up my sodas. There was a point in time where I completely nixed all sodas. And then now I only drink zero sugar. Everything. Like if I'm drinking a soda, it's going to be zero sugar. However, it was usually Coke Zero, and I still have Coke Zero. But I've recently picked up a couple other things. So like I have A&W Zero Sugar. I have Dr. Pepper Zero. Uh, I have Dr. Pepper Cream Soda Zero. I have Coke Zero. I have Monster Zero Sugar because energy drink. And then I have another one over there. Oh, ginger ale, zero sugar. So I've been trying to switch it up, and I'm not like I used to hate Dr. Pepper zero sugar. Like it was not the same. Give me a Coke or give me nothing at all. And when I was a kid, I was raised on Dr. Pepper, like the full sugar Dr. Pepper. And I'm wondering, one, if the recipe has changed, which I don't know that it has, but maybe. Or two, if my taste buds has changed to the point because I stopped drinking it for so long. So like I started on full sugar, and then because I was raised on it, that's what all my family drank. If we went to a family function, you had Dr. Pepper. And then when I was trying to switch to zero sugar, I tried switching straight to Dr. Pepper zero sugar, and I didn't like it. So I switched to Coke zero sugar, but because I wasn't used to Coke, that one tasted fine, tasted normal. And then I think switching, because it's been literal years, like probably 10 years since I've touched a Dr. Pepper. I got some Dr. Pepper Zero Sugars, and they taste great. They taste absolutely great. So it tastes like a Dr. Pepper to me now. So I think I just needed to cleanse my palate, you know? Just need to cleanse my palate. But yeah, so I'm going to work on this. Let's see. How many rows do I need to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 rows of granny stitch if you are crocheting along or if you want to make the same thing that I'm making. There are 10 rows in each square, and I am making 12 squares. So it's going to be 3 on the front on each leg and then 3 on the back on each leg, and then we're going to sew it all together. Right now on this square, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm about to finish 5, so I'm about halfway. What I love about granny squares is that they grow so fast, and you are working in all directions. So like if one row, so like if you were to look at a granny stitch like on one row, like that's probably what, like a half inch, but you're growing a half inch on all 4 sides. So you're actually growing an inch in all, like an inch wide and an inch tall for every round that you're doing. And I bring that up because if you are not the same height as me and you do not have the same size legs or the same size pant size that I'm making, then you can use that to help adjust whatever like size you need for your pants if you want to make a pair of crochet pants. Pretty much what I did is I measured the width of my leg on my granny square. I said, screw the length, don't care, the width, because I want it to fit around my thighs, because I have thick thighs, and I want it to fit around my thighs, and I want it to be loose. I don't want it to be tight. I don't like tight crochet items. I don't. If I'm wearing a crochet item, I want it big, I want it bulky, I want it wide, I want it flowy, I want it to swallow me almost. So with that, I crocheted a large granny square, and then I literally held my leg up and I laid it around my leg. and I made sure it went more than halfway. So like I literally did this, and then like I made it go all the way like this, but on my thigh because my thigh is bigger, and then I did that. It's gonna be pretty bulky, pretty baggy. That's how I measure. It's not the most professional way to measure, but it works. It works. Okay, it's not the most professional. It's not the most like chill. Like I mean, it is chill, but it's not the most like. I mean, I don't know any other word than professional, but may not be the best way to do it. I don't know. Maybe it is. You tell me. But it works for me, and I only crochet things to fit me when it comes to clothes, for the most part. I did make a crocheted. I'm gonna angle this camera really quick because I keep. There we go. I keep like relaxing, and then you can't see the work. So I crocheted a hexie cardigan for a coworker, a friend of mine. They were having a baby, and I was like, hexie cardigans are easy. It's a granny stitch. It's basically a granny square with more sides. To be quite honest, if you can make a granny square, you can make a cardigan. Not only could you make a cardigan out of granny squares, you could just make a hexagon cardigan out of crochet, granny stitch. Anyway, so I was like, this will be easy, right? I don't do patterns and sell patterns and stuff, mainly because it intimidates the hell out of me with sizing, because I make mostly clothes. Like everything I make, I have to be like able to tell you how to adjust the size, because one, if I'm going to take the time to write a pattern and make something for you guys to create, like I want to be able to like have it fit you, right? Like I want you to be able to make it, wear it, and be like, hey, Dragon designed this and it's amazing and I made it and it's great and I love it, right? Maybe that's a little cocky, but like if I make something, I want y'all to love it and be able to wear it and adjust it to fit you. And that's intimidating. I have not written my own pattern yet before, and it's a bucket list item that I want to do. I want to learn how to do it, but I don't know how. And it's so intimidating. And the biggest part of it is like y'all being able to resize it to fit you, and to because human bodies are not one size fits all. As much as society would like us to think so, the human body is not one size fits all. You could have two people that look like they have the same size body, and someone could have a long torso, short torso. Someone could have long legs, short legs. Someone could have big chest, little chest. Someone could have a big butt, little butt. Like, someone could have broad shoulders. Someone could not. Like, it's more than just like extensive sizing. Like, it's more than just like what am I trying to say? Like small, medium, large, extra large. It's more than that. It's sizing in the sense of like you could have two people that wear a medium, but one of them like could buy a medium and it's super tight up here because they have a larger chest, but the next person that wears a medium, it's super loose and baggy. And so like the whole sizing system is daunting to me, and I don't want to make something that isn't inclusive for everyone. So I have not taken a stroll down that hurdle just yet. But yeah, so we're gonna knock some of these out. I did finish a row. I am now on the 6th row. So I did finish row 5. I'm now on the 6th row. So and I have to do 10. So we're gonna knock out as much as we can here. Do 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 do. I start making noises. My entire life has been a giant musical. And I'll start making noises randomly when there's like nothing else going on, or I'll start busting out into song. Like I went to go. I can't believe I'm admitting this online. I went to go pick up my dogs from the groomers yesterday. And when I went to go pick them up, the vet called me because the groomers is inside the vet's office. So they called me, and they were also getting their annual like checkup or whatever. So they called me and they were like, "Hey, your dogs are." I was like, "Cool, I'm on my way. Be there in like 15 minutes, right?" So the whole time I'm getting my shoes on, I'm getting my stuff, and I literally am just the whole time from my house to my car. I'm just like in song singing. I'm gonna go get my dogs today or something. I don't even remember. Or like, I'm gonna go get them. That's what it was. I was like, I'm gonna go get them. Gonna get my baby. I was just repeating that the whole way to the vet. And then once I got in the car after picking up the dogs, it turned in, I just got them. I just got my baby. Does anyone else do that? Does anyone else do that? Just bust out into song randomly? Because I do. Constantly. And I don't know if I'm just crazy or if it's common. No idea. Don't really care either, to be completely honest. But yeah. So we are working through this granny square. I'm trying to figure out, when should I change colors? Because I did 2 yellow, 2 orange. And I'm on the second row of green. Should I stick with the pattern of 2 and 2? And then switch to another color? Because I could switch to just another shade of green. Could go back to yellow and just stick to these 3 colors. I could throw some white in there. I don't have white in a lot of my stuff, but I also don't know if white's gonna like throw it off. I could do a row. I have enough. I could do a row of white. But could I do 2 rows of white? I think the white needs to be like the second row of a square in order for it to have enough. I do not feel like playing yarn chicken today. Curious on how long it's going to take me to get this square done. I'm not ending this live stream until this square is done. At the very, very least. And it's already been 20 minutes, which isn't that long. Okay. So, when I decided I was going to start going live, really, I did some research, but also I didn't really. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to wing it. I did use my regular like webcam application just to get the like angle right and be like, does this viewing angle work or whatever? That row went by fast, maybe because I wasn't talking as much. But yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot of like preparation or research, so I don't really know what I'm doing, to be completely honest with you. Also, I have a mic somewhere in this house. I don't know where it is. Now I'm looking for my scissors, and I know they're over here somewhere. Let's see. No, that's trash. Oh, there they are. Okay. So I think we're going to cut this off. We're going to stick to the 2 and 2. So we'll do 2 rows of each color, whatever color it is. So I'm going to loop that through, fasten that off, and I kind of want to start sewing in ends as I go, but I never do. I say I'm going to, but then I never do. So I've used this green. Now I have to decide, do I want to just go back to yellow and do those 3 colors, or if I want to just throw every single color in this. I could just go back to yellow. I don't have a whole lot of yellow in this. Because that would be, it's row 6. Yeah, because there's 3 colors, 2 colors of each row, so that's 6. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So 2 more rows. I could do yellow and orange, and then green would be the middle stripe. I wouldn't be able to repeat green again. I could just do yellow and orange, and the green would be in the middle, but there's a ton of green in the pattern already in these other squares. That might actually help. Like, it'll still tie it all in, but it means, because when I stitch them together, I don't want green next to green. Like, they can both have green in it, but I'm not attaching green to green. Like, I would have to attach green to brown or to yellow or to white or to something. So since I have a lot of green, I think ending it on orange would be a good idea. If only there was a way to end it on yellow, because I have no yellow, so it wouldn't matter where I put it. I do have this orange one, but I think I only have 2 orange that are like orange on the outer row. 2 out of 12 is fine. I will find a spot for it. Yeah. We're going back to yellow. We're going back to yellow. Going back to yellow. This one is driving me insane because it's all over the place. I have a yarn winder. I just can't be bothered. Like, what? Whatever. We're not doing that. We're not dealing with that. Not right now. I'll deal with it when I need it. All right. So we have decided. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Okay. Better. I don't know how to mute. I told you I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here. Okay. So I've not figured out how to mute yet. So that's just, it is what it is. All right. So we are going to do yellow, and then we will do orange. So 2 rows of yellow, 2 rows of orange, and then we will be done with this square. Then we have 2 more squares. 2 more squares. So let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. See? There it goes again. My natural karaoke. Which I've never actually, well, I want to say I've never done karaoke, but technically I have. I used to work at an arcade that had karaoke rooms, and when I became a supervisor / manager, I honestly don't remember what my title was, to be completely honest. And I would host our team meetings, which was like every other month or something like that. I would host them in our karaoke room, and I would encourage people to get there like 5-10 minutes early, because I would have the karaoke systems turned on. And if everybody showed up on time, I would turn on the bowling lanes and let them bowl for like a half hour after work, after we've all clocked out and all that stuff. We technically weren't supposed to. The company was very adamant on employees only bowling so employees would only get 3 free bowling games a week, I think, maybe a month. I don't know. I don't remember because I never really went by it. But we get 3 free games, and then we have to pay for it. And I'm like, we work in a bowling alley, and it's literally not costing the company any money. No. I'm on vacation time, so my alarms are still going off for work. So technically, everybody that's at my current job right now, they're all taking their lunch break right now. Anyway, so I always thought it was a little odd, like, to tell staff, like, that we can't bowl for free. It really wasn't costing the company any money. They weren't making money, but it wasn't costing them anything. Like, you literally throw the ball and reset it. Like, it literally, like, as long as it's not taking up a lane on a busy Saturday, like, whatever. So I would turn the bowling lanes on after work when, like, the GM wasn't there. Let my team bond. Stop. Thank you. So I would let the team bowl for like a half hour and like sing karaoke, do whatever, because it's not costing the company any money. And I haven't worked there in years, and I don't plan on going back, so I don't really care. But yeah, no. I think, in my personal humble opinion, someone who has been a lead, a manager, a supervisor, has been over staffs of like 15 people, it is worth it to the company to sacrifice even like slight monetary value, even though this was zero monetary value, to have a team that builds like a bond and like builds rapport and like has time to like not be in work brain. You know what I mean? Not work brain as in like work brain, but like in your brain work vibes, you know? Like to get out of your work mindset and like actually just interact with each other as humans. It's missing in a lot of companies personally. And it's like when companies have gatherings and like they want to show like, oh, we appreciate you, we're going to give you a party, but then the entire thing is like there's some underlying like code of ethics you have to follow, not ethics, but like you still have to follow dress code, you still have to like act like you're at work, you know, you still have to. And like I say that loosely, like I've worked in many different industries. I've worked in corporate. I'm in like a corporate company right now. Like I don't work in corporate, but like I work for a large corporation. And before this, I worked technically still a large corporation, but I worked for Live Nation before this. That one I'll say loud and proud. Like it was probably my favorite job. I worked as artist hospitality. Basically, I took care of all of the talent and the artists that were performing on my stage, whichever room I was booked in. Because there's most venues, I want to say most, but maybe not most, but there's a lot of venues that have more than one stage, that have more than one concert going on at one time, which is a brilliant business model because you can have like double the shows, obviously, triple the shows. They're pre-pandemic. When I was working for Live Nation, back when I was on security, we would have days that we would call our full house. We'd have a full house. So we'd have 4 stages with different concerts. So there would be our lounge upstairs having a show. There would be our restaurant, which hasn't been open since the pandemic. That would have a show. Then our small stage would have a show, and then our main stage would have a show. And they're all different tickets, all different people, all different walks of life, all different genres. Like it's wild. It was a wild time. Like to see all those people in one space, it was wild. You would have like kids dressed up for like teenagers dressed up for like a pop show on our small stage, and then you'd have like a heavy metal downstage, and then you would have like an acoustic set in our lounge upstairs, and then you would have like a comedy show in our restaurant. it was wild, crazy, but it was a lot of fun. I loved working there. And when we had our company parties, it was like there was a bar, there was food. We would all hang out. We would all, shoot the shit and just talk. And like, it was like, we'd all show up like in like going out clothes. And like we'd be ourselves, like we weren't dressed to fit this image of a company, because it's, we're not getting paid to be there. It's our free time. It's being provided to us, yes, but it's our free time, so we're not getting paid to be there. So we are ourselves. And a lot of companies, not all, but a lot of companies, that if you are going to a work-related function, you still have to be a representation of the company. And I'm like, but I'm not getting paid to represent this company right now. If that's the case, I should be getting paid. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a little thought. I don't actually have any control over anything, so it is what it is, I guess. So I finished one round of the yellow, starting on the second round of yellow, and then after this we will have 2 rounds of orange, and then we will be done with this square. But this yellow has definitely made this square pop out. I'm glad we did this. This was a good idea. Yeah, this was a good idea. Brilliant I am. Brilliant I am. So, really want to get these pants done so I can start another project. I have no idea what that next project is going to be. I have nothing in mind. I need to start working on Christmas presents. I have a few ideas, but I need to figure out how to block certain people from my YouTube channel so they don't watch when I start doing Christmas stuff. Or I can just let them spoil it for themselves, tell them not to watch it, and if they watch it, that's on them. Which might end up being the case. For a second, I thought I didn't increase in my corner, and I was going to be very, very, very upset. Very upset. But I did. I was just holding it weird. So this is starting to speed up. I'm starting to, like, get into the groove. Do 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 do. Okay. Yeah. I'm liking this. I think this one's gonna be good. I'm adjusting. Oh. Oh. Okay. So, did any of you go see Hadestown? Because I am obsessed with it. Absolutely obsessed. I loved every second of it. There's a lot of people that were like commenting on the story itself and like spoilers if you don't know the mythology. But people were complaining about why did he turn around? Why did he turn around? He should have just trusted her. And honestly, I dare you to walk down a dark alley somewhere you don't know with all these noises and do that for days and have your loved one in front of you. And how would you feel if he didn't turn around? And then repeat that same scenario and have your loved one behind you. You can't hear them. You can't hear them or see them. You just have to trust that they're there. All these noises, all these creepy sounds. What if they got them? You don't know. But it's a sad story. It's a very sad story. But there are lessons in it. There are. So, I had a good time. I went with a friend of mine and one of her friends. It was a good time. I hadn't been planning to go. I wanted to. I hadn't been planning to go. And then she called one day. She was like, I bought 2 tickets. My son doesn't want to go. Do you want to go? We're going to the theater by your house. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I went. It was fun. It was all fun. But, yeah. I think they're going out to like a speakeasy or something today. I don't know. I can't go. I got stuff to do. I got stuff going on. I can't be going out spending money. So interesting. All right, we are done with yellow already. 2 more stitches, 1 more stitch, chain 2, slip. We are done. We are cruising. We are cruising through this. Where are my scissors at? God dang it. I'm gonna put them back. Guys, I just had them. There they are. All right. Putting scissors back in my drawer. You can remind me later when I can't find them. Okay. So now we are going to add orange. And we'll do 2 rows of orange and then we'll be done with this one. And we will we'll still need to sew in the ends. And then I think after this, after I finish this one, I'm going to sew in the ends, and then I'm going to go through all of those that I have in there. And if there's any that I need to sew ends into, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Normally, when I'm like not doing the granny stitch, I will just crochet over all of my ends when I switch colors. But you can't really do that because there's so many gaps in a granny stitch. Like, I'll do it for the first cluster just to lock it in, but like otherwise you'll have like a giant line just like going across this little gap right here. Might as well just sew it in, which not many people enjoy doing. I don't mind it as long as I don't have a bajillion of them. Like, if I do a project and I wait until the very end to sew in all of the ends, those ends will never get sewn in. Never. But if I do it in sections, to where like I'll do like a few squares if I'm doing granny squares, and then I'll go back and sew them all in, or if I like sew them in each time I finish, it's not as daunting. So I think my dog is. He was grumbling. I knew I could hear him. I heard like this low like. Yes. So the story about my dogs. So prior to these two, I had another dog. His name was Loki. He was my pride and joy. He was the love of my life, my little sweet baby boy. And he passed very abruptly with cancer. A year later, because I normally, like, anytime my family has, like, lost a dog, we just got another dog. But with Loki, like, there was too much of a bond there with him that I had to kind of take some time to, like, not, like, feel like I'm replacing him. Because that's impossible. Like, I actually have Loki right here. He's my little Loki. It's backwards. See, my little Loki. Anyway, he was a Caterpillar, and I loved him to death. He was my boy. We did everything together. All of that. So when we lost him suddenly, like, I found out that he had cancer, and then like 4 weeks later, he was basically not moving, not walking. Like, he was like in such bad shape that we had to go to the vet and let him go. Like, there was no, like, it was already stage 4 at that point. It just wasn't a good life. Anyway, so we ended up, like, So I ended up going without a dog for like a year. And after a while, I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready to like get another dog. And like, I've always had dogs. Like, I've that year, but after Loki was the longest amount of time in my entire 38 years that I've been without a dog. Like, even as a kid, like, my family had dogs before I was born. There was dogs in the house, and like, we continuously had multiple dogs, always. So that was like the longest amount of time I've ever gone without a dog in my house, right? So after a while, I was like, I'm ready. Like, I think I'm ready to get another one, but I'm not gonna go like shop for one. I kind of want to just like have it happen. And I think a lot of that was because with Loki, like, it did just kind of happen. Like, we had 2 other dogs here at the house, and then when I got Loki, my cousin's dog got pregnant by a stray, and she was like, we need to rehome these puppies. Like, we can't keep this whole litter. I think there's like a litter of like 7. She was like, we can't keep this whole litter. Like, we need to rehome them. I was like, I'll take one. Like, whenever they're ready to be weaned, like, I'll come meet them and like, I'll take one. She's like, cool. That's one down. And she found homes for the rest, right? So I went over to her place where she was staying with her boyfriend at the time, and we're hanging out outside. She had all the puppies out there in like a little kiddie pool, and that's kind of like where they like slept and cuddled or whatever. And they were all just kind of like crawling around. They hadn't opened their eyes yet. They were super, super young. And I was just seeing them and, you know, getting to see the puppies and mama dog and all that other stuff, right? Because mama dog had lived with me for a while, because my cousin had lived with me for a while. So I wanted to go check on mama dog, and then I wanted to see the puppies. And there was one where I was like, this one is like calling to me. There's a connection there. And he kept, like, every time I was there, like, he couldn't open his eyes fully, but he was, like, crawling around, and he was always following. Like, he was following my little foot and, like, always, like, on me, right? So, obviously, too young to, take home, right? So, I leave. I come back a little while later. They're starting to wean off of mama. They're eating kibble. And I'm watching the puppies. I was like, that one's mine. That's the one I had claimed. And she's like, yep, that one's yours. I was like, I could tell. Because he's a little wild, crazy boy. His name was Loki for a reason. And my favorite story of Loki, when he was a puppy, and I went over there before taking him home. She was feeding them dry kibble because they had been, like, weaning off of mama, right? So she's feeding them dry kibble, and she'd put it in this giant, like, tin pan, and all the puppies would come to the bowl and they would eat, right? They do their little nifty eating, like, little dance, right? It was super cute, except for Loki. Loki crawled into the bowl, sprawled out, and just laid down and went to sleep. And all the puppies were just eating the food around him. So they get all full. They go back to their little bed area and they go to sleep, right? Loki wakes up and eats everything that he was laying on top of. This dog was a genius. I was like, that's my boy. That's my boy right there. Also, he ended up being the only one out of the litter that had blue eyes. Well, he had one blue eye, one gold eye. And I was like, it's meant to be. Love that boy. But after, he had passed years later, I want to say he was 10, almost 11. Not quite 11. And year after that, I get a message from a friend of mine. She's like, hey, one of the guys here at work had a dog who had puppies. They weren't expecting it. They need to rehome them. Do you want any puppies? And I was like, are they selling them or are they giving away puppies because they need to rehome puppies? And she was like, they're giving away puppies because they need to rehome puppies. I was like, okay. So I'm not buying puppies from somebody. I'm not supporting the whole, like, breed and sell. No. That being said, so I was like, okay, yeah, give them my contact information and, I'll chat with them and see the puppies and whatever. So there was 3 puppies left. And he was like, we got these 3 left. There was 2 girls and a boy. And I instantly was like, give me my boy, because I knew the bond I had with Loki. And, like, I saw, like, the look in Magnus's face. Spoiler alert, I got the dog. So I saw the look in Magnus's face. I was like, that's my boy. But then I also saw Phoenix. And I was like, that big-headed girl, I gotta bring her home. So I ended up getting 2 dogs. And a lot of that was because when I had gotten Loki, as Loki was getting older, I was like, I kind of wish I had a sibling of Loki, which there was another one that I was going to get. But then at the time, my mother was very much like, no, we don't need 2 dogs. We don't need to take care of 2 puppies. We only need 1. And there was one bonsai that was like the little runt of the family. And I was like, but no one's going to give her the care that she needs. She's a little runt. She needs extra care, extra help. No one's going to do it. And Mom was like, no, we already have 1. We don't need to take the other. Dang it. And then I reflected on that. I was like, I do still wish that we had picked up 2 from the litter, to be completely honest, when I got Loki. So I got 2 from this litter. They are siblings. They sound vicious, but they're tiny. Hey, Magnus, Phoenix, settle. Thank you, settle. Lay down, good boy, lay down. Phoenix, yes, I understand. I see it. It's just a truck. You're okay. They are crazy. But you hear it in their voice. They sound Okay. So Walmart was delivering groceries to my neighbor's house. And my dogs are upset about it. But let's be completely honest, my dogs get upset when my neighbors arrive at their own house. But where was I? So I saw pictures of the 2 puppies, and I was like, those are my babies. I need them. And so I got them. And I started getting them set up with like their shots and like their puppy visits and calling the vet and doing that whole thing. And everyone is shocked when I talk about their breed. There has been some medical complications because of their mixed breeding. So, mama dog is a 100-pound King Corso. Daddy dog is like a 30-pound terrier. Yes, that is an insane breed mix. And even the vet, when I took them in for their first puppy appointment, was like, I don't know how big they're going to be. I don't know what complications they're going to have. I have not personally dealt with a mixed breed of varying sizes like that. Personally, I know it's happened. I don't know what's going to happen specifically with this breed. So there has been some medical complications. Number one, Magnus has a smaller liver than he should. So he cannot process fat. So his diet is very particular. He has to be on special food for his entire life. Occasionally, we do have to get him on medicine. But he has a small liver. That liver is not going to grow. It could impede the longevity of his life. So we just are giving him the best life that we can. And he acts just fine. He knows I'm talking about him. So he's on his way. You going to come up? Magnus, you going to come up? No? Okay. And then when it comes to Phoenix, Phoenix is my little chunky girl. She is more broad versus Magnus is more thin and more slender. But they both roughly weigh about the same. They're both about 30 pounds, 31 pounds. Phoenix currently is at like 35. She's put on a little bit. And then Magnus is at 30. They want them both around 30. Except for today, for some reason, the vet told me she wants Magnus to lose a pound. But he's never been lower than 30, so I don't know. She didn't give me any reason. She's like, I just think he'd be better at this weight. So I don't know. And then she also told me that Phoenix was fine, but at my last visit, they told me Phoenix needed to lose some weight, that they preferred her around 32, and she's at 35. I don't know. There's multiple vets in that practice, and they all give me different information. It's kind of frustrating. But yeah, so those are some of those complications. Phoenix has some GI issues, some digestive issues, but most of that is not necessarily related to the breed that I'm aware of. It's related to the fact that she has pica and she's constantly eating everything, and she has an oral fixation where she always has to have something in her mouth. I have trained her so far when she gets the vibe of wanting to pick up something that she shouldn't, like, because we have like my great niece is here often, and there's some like kids' toys in the living room that we've had to pull toys out of Phoenix's mouth before. So I started teaching Phoenix that when she gets the vibe to bite, and it's not real biting, it's like she'll like grab and just hold. She'll like literally grab your hand with her mouth and then just pull you along. She's not trying to actually bite down. She's just holding your hand and pulling you along, like, come here. And then she'll try to bite like other toys and stuff like that. And so I've been training her to grab one of her toys. And so she will walk around with the toy in her mouth. And that's basically when she's like, I have the urge of having something in my mouth, and so I'm going to walk around with this. Don't take it away. She'll just walk around with it, which is good. That's what we want. but she's got some digestive issues, mainly because she likes to eat a lot of plants and things outside that she shouldn't. She likes to get into things that she shouldn't. A lot of it has to do, I think personally, with the fact that I've had to take her in to, because she's eaten things that she shouldn't, I've had to take her in and they've had to induce her getting sick. I'm trying to be vague with my language because I know some people don't like talking about it. And she's had to do that 6 times. If you have pets, get pet insurance. Get pet insurance. You never know. It has saved me hundreds of dollars. Hundreds. Every year. Hundreds. I actually have 2 that I need to file. 2 insurance things that I need to file for Phoenix. One was when I took her to the hospital recently to get induced because she decided to eat half of a gourmet chocolate cupcake. And dogs can't have chocolate. And so I called the vet. They were like, is it milk chocolate or is it dark chocolate? Dark chocolate, instantly go to the emergency. Milk chocolate, she might be okay. She'll probably have an upset stomach. I was like, it's semi-sweet dark chocolate. Instant emergency room. So we go in the emergency room, do the toxicology, all that stuff. So she has some issues there. She also has a physical issue with her foot. So if you ever see her feet, one of her feet is turned all the way out like this, and she walks like this. Like she has one like deformed foot. She doesn't know any better. She plays, runs, and jumps, and she's just fine. It doesn't hurt her. But also she doesn't feel pain the same way. Like I've noticed it. Like I've accidentally like stumbled and like she got under my feet and I like stepped on her foot a little bit and didn't faze her. Magnus, he's on the floor wailing. Little dramatic boy. But yeah, so we do kind of worry about her with her pain receptors because there's been some times where I'm like, that should have warranted like a squeal. Like a maybe not like a full dramatic Magnus cry, but like a and it didn't. So I am a little concerned on that scale, so we do have to pay closer attention to her. But yeah, that's the story of my babies. It's 2, 3. We are on our last row, guys, of this square. It's the last one. I'm so excited to be done with it. And then we got to figure out what color to do the other 2. But I'm probably going to finish this here with you. Hold on, I gotta pause. Okay. I'm glad I figured out how to mute. Just more things happening. But yeah, so I'm going to finish this row here with you, and I'm probably going to go because it is lunchtime and I should probably go eat something, but I will be back. I will be back live again. Maybe today. I'm testing out a few things. I'm testing going live here on YouTube. And then I do want to test going live on Twitch. I know it's more for gaming, but I've also seen a lot of like IRL streamers and like other crafting streamers do Twitch. So I'm gonna explore that. And then, I mean, there's always an option of doing both, I think. Like I said, not 100% like sure of what I'm doing right now. So we're going to knock out this last row, and then after this, I will have 10. Um, but yeah. We are almost done. Almost there. Ha ha ha, we are done. We are done. I put it away. Put it away. Looking for my scissors. Boom. All right. Square number 10 finished. Took me an hour and 15 minutes. I need to work faster. But I also paused and talked a bit. So I probably could finish it in less than an hour. But I did actually start with it pre-done. I had like 5 rows pre-done. So I did like half of it in an hour 15 minutes. I just need to crochet faster. I think that's it. So I do need to sew in these ends, but I'm going to do it later, even though I said I didn't want to do it later. But I am going to pull out all the ones that I need to crochet ends on. I know some of them I already did. That one's good. That one's good. So far I just have 2. That one's good. 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 I think most of them are good. Nope. I need to sew that one in. That one's good. I think this one's good. Yeah. Okay. So I do need to sew ends in on 1, 2, and 3. That's not bad. It's only 3. It's not bad at all. All right. So I will work on that. I am going to leave now. I will come back to work on some of this stuff later. So if y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave it in the comment section down below. I will be posting the VOD of this, the video on my YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it on replay, if you were not able to catch it live, you can do that. And again, in the comments, just leave any question, comments, concerns. If you have any ideas for some quick projects we can make for like Christmas presents and stuff like that, go ahead and drop those in the comments as well, because I need inspiration and ideas. So y'all have a good one. I'll be back